Hello guys, so today we are going to start our new video series, and as you can see it will be dedicated to car design, and we are going to start with some new car which was presented on recent Detroit car show. That's a Ford Mustang GT500. As you can see, it is quite angry car, so it will be interesting to see what is actually different here from the normal Mustang without any improvements, let's say. First of all, I would like to go back in time and show you the granddad of this new car. Here you can see it on the picture. That's also Shelby and that's also GT500. So now we are going to check what is actually can be defined as a familiar design cues which were used in the new car as well. Here in the picture you can see, let's say, rough underlining of what defines this car, this series GT500 Shelby Mustang. So as you can see, that's a horizontal line which goes under the main window, side window, and also another horizontal line which actually goes over the air intake. Of course, we can't miss the, let's say, more or less simple lines of the air intakes on the front grille. And note also the bonnet lines because they are preserved in the new car. You will see them next in the video. And of course headlamps. This familiar curve is also present on the new car, but it is slightly changed. Of course it is difficult to miss that headlamps are round, of course, and also side air intake is present, which looks quite neat on this quite simple but elegant silhouette of this car. Just one small thing I would like to point separately is the clearance on this car. I mean, just look at this, it is really impressive. That's why at that time there was no idea about SUV and nobody cared about such class of the cars, because you can see the height of this car over the ground. It's really impressive. No, we are not going to jump straight away to our car which we were going to analyze today. I would like to show you the standard version of the Mustang with 5-liter engine under the bonnet, and here you can see it on the picture in nice green color with black stripe in the middle. Note that here designers tried to preserve this curve, even though now it looks completely different from what we had on the classic car. Still it is present on this headlamps shape, and also note the lower angle which is underlined with red line as well. Here we also get this horizontal line with slight uptick in the rear section, which actually looks quite neat. And note that again on the side we don't have that many lines present. And when we combine all these lines together, bonnet lines, you can see them now underlined, also the middle line, all this builds up and lets you see the traditional Mustang lines, even in this new car, which looks nothing similar to what we saw in the 68-year generation. And now we come to the main hero of this video. As you can see, I decided to use this shot because it shows how complex design has become, and this car, I think that's really pinnacle of all this, and you will see it in the following photos. Let's start from the frontal section. I would like to compare it with, let's say, normal car, which you just saw in the green color. So on the right we have GT500, on the left we have simple 5-liter car in blue color. Of course the difference is quite noticeable, but what actually surprised me is that Ford decided to use old headlamps. So here you can see it underlined with red. New headlamps on the left and old headlamps on the right, but they are present on the 2020 model line car, which is quite surprising. And as you can see, they don't have this weird line which is pointed with arrow, and I'm quite happy about this because it makes design more clean, let's say, and even more angry looking car as a result. Now let's check the frontal section of this car without any smoke around, because it deserves a separate talk. Main role here is given to the side vents, and you can see them underlined in red because they make a single composition together with headlamps, and this is quite an angry looking silhouette in my opinion. Of course, it is difficult to miss the huge air intake of front grille on this car with this badge of the Shelby on the front, and now we underlined it with red, but there is one thing to say about it. So as you can see, designers decided not to implement the single front grille. They decided to, let's say, merge it together with side spoilers, and it makes quite a complex composition because as you can see we have let's say combo of the side air intakes together with headlamps, and also we get this overlapping structure where we have the side splitters combined together with front grille. This looks a bit complex when you see it underlined with this red color, but without it, it looked quite organic, I would say. Now we can move to the side of this car because here we have traditional cues for the Mustang line, and it's worth underlining them as we did in the previous shots. In my opinion, the most important thing here is that we have here the kingdom of the negative angles, and we have them not only on the front but also on the rear side, and it's quite surprising that designers were actually brave enough to get this done on the real car, because it's really difficult to go with some safety regulations, but you see they managed it somehow. And here we come to the familiar features. That's the horizontal line under the window with slight uptick in the rear. Also another line goes right through the handle, the door handle. And also we get another one which actually adds some visual interest. It is underlined in the bottom, as you can see, it's slightly concaved inside. And it adds reflections on different colors, especially on this blue one. It is really nice to see all those reflections playing with the light and with different angles. It's a really cool feature to add to the plain walls of the Mustang. And also here we can see this air intake which we underlined in the previous shot, and now we can see it from the side because it is also interesting to see from this side. And also note on the fuel cap, we have this horizontal line, let's say, continued there, so it looks like a wheel arch bulges outside and actually covers this horizontal line. Quite a smart design cue, I would say, but this horizontal line, the middle one, actually catches or starts in the headlamps, so it's also interesting to note. And of course, in this series of videos I would be doing the pillar line test. We all know that perfect pillar line design is where the front wheel mid point is going via this line, but here you can see that it's a bit behind this line. Why? Because of the safety regulations and also because of the huge bumper, as you can see, so that's why we have such a result, and it is quite surprising, I would say. Just as a proof of what we were saying about these horizontal lines, I'm going to show you this shot. So here again you can see these horizontal lines and how light plays on them, and note that now we have shadows under them. It's really cool effect. But here from the top view we can also see that of course black roof creates this single piece element together with front and rear windows, and also note the bonnet silhouette. It is also quite cool because we have it overlapping this middle grille, which is painted in black in whatever color you choose on your Mustang GT500. Rear side has also some cues from the classic Mustang, and we are going to underline them in a second. So here you can see it's a single piece rear panel, and note that we don't have the separate rear lights, we have them unified into one horizontal plane, which actually widens visually the car from the rear view. And it's a classic, let's say, principle which is used by many car designers, and here as you can see it works as well, and rear of the Mustang looks actually wider than it is. Another top view just to show you all those reflections on the blue color, and here we have them underlined, so all those main three lines, top one, middle one and lower one, concave, which actually creates all those nice reflections. I would like to take a separate look at this angle of the car. Let's use this close-up shot because it's really showing the main features. So here the most interesting part is that rear wing creates one angle or one plane together with the side rear panel of the car. And also note the window sill, because it has this nice curve inside. It's nice, neat detail which is noticeable when you are up close to the car, but from the far it will be really difficult to notice. And again, I would like to show the rear wing from another angle. Here you can see it perfectly on the red color, and as you can see now we have this double negative angle combo, because as you can see we have it on the rear plane with the rear tail lights, and also we have it created with rear wing and edge of the trunk cover, which is really cool as well. You can see it underlined with red, of course. And the last section, which will be traditional for our design checkups, is the exhaust check. So this car goes completely fine by our exhaust check, because here we don't have any fake end pipes. We just have true quad pipe end on the car, and I think sound should be really great on this car because of the V8 obviously. So here we have definite pass on our exhaust check. This is all for our design check today. As you can see, we analyzed what new Ford Mustang GT500 has to offer. It is quite interesting car, not only under the bonnet but also external design wise, and I hope you liked it. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this car or your opinion about this analysis. Maybe we should add something interesting here, and I will see you in the next video on our channel. Thank you for watching and see you soon.